Hi everybody, welcome to another Daily Digest video. I am Merriam, and today I have yet another variant on the Metalwork Colossus archetype. This is a deck that has started to do, or a card that started to do a little bit better in leagues this week, and this version of the deck is particularly cool because it has Fling and Key to the City and Ravenous Intruder, the functional reprint of Atog, so it has another angle of attack there, just spew a lot of artifacts onto the battlefield and then make a big unblockable attacker and fling it at your opponent. You can also just make Metalwork Colossus unblockable and fling it for exactly 20, so it works there as well. And this hand, while not very combo-esque, has a bunch of vehicles and Maverick Thopterus to crew them. So I think this hand is good enough to keep. If we can go turn 3 Caravan, turn 4 Thopterus, uh, or maybe just turn 4 Sky Sovereign and then Thopterus and start boating them, we should be in good shape. So I'm going to keep this. Hopefully our opponent is not too fast. Tournament Forest usually means an energy deck. Teamer energy of some kind. This usually gets a mountain. Let's see if I'm right. A waste. Now I'm all sorts of confused. They must be playing that Rampant Growth card where you need a waste in play. So we're playing against some sort of ramp deck. Interesting. Well, we're going on an adventure. Okay. Basic mountain. Servant. So there's some sort of Eldrazi deck? They could still be a ramp deck. Well, Puzzle Knot is a pretty good draw here. Gets us an artifact on the board in case we draw a Colossus. Oh, we did draw a Colossus. Man, I'm just all sorts of confused today. Okay. So next turn we'll have Caravan. That'll make Colossus cost 6. We're going to be 1 short. Yeah, this is the classic curve. When we were initially testing this deck last fall, I was disappointed that the 2-drop Caravan Sky Sovereign curve left you 1 short of Colossus. You needed a 1-drop too. If Colossus cost 1 less, I think this card might just be busted because of that curve. But we should still be in pretty good shape. I mean, we're going to be able to Caravan into Sky Sovereign, kill something, and then Thopterus plus Colossus, I think. Voltaic Brawler. Yeah, I have to assume there's some sort of Eldrazi aggro deck at this point, and they're just using the Attune to fix their mana to cast things like Thought-Knot Seer and Reality Smasher. Which means there's a good chance there's a Reality Smasher coming down here, which is bad news for us. That attacks for 9 with the Brawler, brings us to 8. We play Boat, kill the Brawler, then they only have 7, so maybe we can stabilize from here. We probably can't beat a second. Okay, no Reality Smasher because they didn't play the Waste. So this is good. Why did they have a Waste in their deck? If it weren't for this Waste, I would think they were just either a red-green aggro deck or a Pummeler deck. But the Waste is so confusing. See what they have here. Yeah, they can't have. I was gonna say they can't have anything good because any 4-drop they would have played last turn. So their hand must be chock full of removal, which is very good for us. We're definitely just boating here. And we'll kill the Voltaic Brawler. If they are a Pummeler deck, they might just have a pump spell here, but that's also fine. And just 3 unknowns and a wastes. And we are going to go off next turn. Going to play. So we have enough mana to improvise with the Puzzle Knot, play Thopterus, still have 2 mana left, play Colossus, sack Sanctum, play second Colossus, and then crew the boat and mush. So yeah, I like where we are right now. At a reasonably healthy life total, our opponent again doesn't play this waste they found on turn 1. So we know they continue to have 3 unknowns. Yeah, it must be just a pile of removal in their hand right now. But I don't think their removal is going to match up well against a bunch of 10-10s. Bam. Sacrifice Sanctum of Ugin, sure. Let's get a Metalwork Colossus. That seems good. Another one. Now we can use this to make a mana. Da 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 da. Now there might be a. I'm trying to think of any way I can possibly lose this game, and it might be correct to crew boat with a Colossus and leave the most blockers back against like a Threaten or something. I guess if my opponent has Threaten Fling, we could be in rough shape. But yeah, I still don't see that happening. I think I'd rather protect against like Smasher and Pump spells, I guess. It's a little unclear what my opponent's outs could be. Well, this was essentially just how we drew it up. Opponent did not put us under a lot of pressure, so this is our turn 5. Yeah, that they had 5 turns. They only made a Brawler and a Servant. That's just not a competitive draw. Okay, yeah, Harness Lightning on the boat, sure. That I guess is to be expected. Maybe I shouldn't have crewed, but these Harness Lightnings are not going to be big enough to take out a Metalwork Colossus. And we have a replacement boat right here and a mini boat. So many boats. Let's see what our opponent has and probably just kill their stuff and attack them. Yeah. Still has this Wastes in hand, so 2 unknowns. Green Cartouche. Well, that one does not seem great. Sure, kill my Maverick Thopterist. Not sure why Green Cartouche is there. But it is definitely not going to be good enough to beat 2 Metalwork Colossus. This is. Sure. It's a boat. Kill that thing. I feel like my opponent's just dead to these Colossuses. But in case they have like Fog into top deck Threaten effect, I'll leave a Thopter back. Just in case. So dead or really dead? I guess they're not really dead. We're only dealing 1 over. When we get triple Metalwork Colossus, that'll be next game. This lonely Metalwork in my hand. Then they'll be really dead. Or if we make a giant ATOG and fling it at them. So dead or... Not sure what my opponent could be thinking about. They only have 1 potentially relevant card in their hand. If it keeps them alive, cast it. If not, concede. This should not be difficult. And yet here we are, waiting in suspense. Still not entirely sure what this waste is for, but my guess is that it's for big Eldrazi of some kind. The Eldrazi would fight well with the Cartouche, which would help explain that, which is the only card that doesn't really go with the rest of the things we've seen, which otherwise are an aggressive red-green creature deck, which could very easily curve into Eldrazi. I'm not sure why that's necessary with Glorybringer in the format, but to each their own. Still waiting for our opponent to concede. Are they trying to figure out why I didn't attack with this other Thopter? Does it matter? Are they gaining 2 life here at instant speed? Okay. I think they did the math finally. I like these Sweltering Suns. I also like these Disintegrations. I think I just want to kill their stuff. What do I like least? You know what? I actually think it might be right to cut Ravenous Intruders and Flings and just play a control role until we go over the top with these Gigantors. Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. I'm going to leave in 1 Fling, I guess. No, I'm just going to bring this Scrap Crawler to you. It's a fine blocker, and I assume our opponent has some artifact removal, so it might get some value there as well. We're just going to be hard control here. I like that. No need to get cute and potentially have non-functional draws. This matchup should be quite good. We'll just kill all their stuff and play some 10-10s. Even if they have artifact removal for these, they just come back. We get to sack things like Servo Schematic for value. Get things back to Scrap Trawler. And now we're up to 8 removal spells and 2 boats to their creatures. Unweird Battlements. Oh man, this deck went all out. You can play a hasty Ravenous Intruder and fling it at them, or hasty Metalwork Colossus. Use turn 4 combo. Not sure how I feel about these Highland Lakes. ETB tapped lands are just about my least favorite thing in all of Magic is having my lands enter the battlefield tapped. I really, really hate it. I hate it so much. Right on cue, Highland Lake. If I knew I was drawing a couple lands off the top, this hand would be pretty good, but if I brick even once, and once along the chain too, it's not just hitting my second land. If I brick hitting my third land, maybe even my fourth land on top of that, this hand is going to be way too slow, and I think this matchup is good enough that I don't need to take that risk. So, 6-lander is another mulligan, and as 5-carders go, this one's not bad. Hopefully we get a cheap artifact on top so we can get to improvise quickly. Ooh, Harvester I think is nice. Ideally it would have been a 2-mana artifact, but this one is probably our best 3-mana one. So I'm going to keep that on top. Opponent mulled to 6 and bottomed theirs, so hopefully they're a little slow again. Another attune. Yep. See if we get unused wastes again. Oh, there it is. Get this Highland Lake and pass the turn. Maybe we'll see some Eldrazi this game. Although Thought-Knot Seer would be a pain. Boat doesn't kill it. We'd probably just take our boat. I do like seeing turn 2 Evolve and Wild, so this is the slow start that we needed with this hand. That gets in the red mana, maybe another attune here. Nope. Oh yes, and a 2-mana artifact. This is perfect. Now we're a land short of being right where we want to be. Turn 2 key, turn 3 harvester. And then hopefully turn 4 Thopterus while leaving the Harvester untapped. And then turn 5 Boat. So just a couple lands here, and we have a strong curve. Oh yeah, Key to the City and Improvise, by the way. Nice combo. Ooh, an Invocation Ronus. That could be an issue if they followed up with Bristling Hydra, something of the sort. Let's just play our Harvester. Really want to land next turn. Even if we don't hit the 5th land, if we hit the 4th land next turn, we can Thopterus, then draw an extra card, and Harness Lightning, which is a fine turn. But here, it's anything but Bristling Hydra, please. I guess Thought-Knot Seer would also be good. That would be bad. They take our Harness Lightning. Yeah, this might be a Thought-Knot. Yep. That's a nice little curve, Ronus into Thought-Knot Seer. I could see taking Thopterus too, I guess, if they have backup. Well, they took the boat. That was the worst card in my hand, so that's nice. Take 5. They have plenty of energy for a Harness Lightning to take down this Harvester. If all I do this turn is play a Maverick Thopterist, I don't think I can reasonably block Thought-Knot. I guess I could chump the Ronus with a token and then take 4, and then untap, draw a card, hope to hit a land, Harness Lightning, Thought-Knot Seer, and then start gaining some life. I do think I need to use my mana here, so I'm going to go with the Thopterist. Another Thought-Knot, though, would be a tilt. Although they haven't played the Waste yet, so they only have 2 unknowns, and I think one of them's a Harness Lightning. Reality Smasher here would also be Bad News Bears. There. So yeah, that's finally the Waste. We did it. Only took until turn 5 of game 2. No Smasher, no Smasher, or Thought-Knot. Really no relevant cards of any kind. Okay, that's no Smasher. It's a good start. Oh wow, no attack with Thought-Knot. Whew. Still gonna chump this Ronus. Got plenty of things to crew here, but that means there's no Harness Lightning in my opponent's hand. And that is a very good news. Actually, thinking maybe I should have chumped with Thopterus, left myself the other artifact. But I still want to draw a card. This is a risky play, but okay, hit the land. So now I think I'm on the Harness Lightning, this Thought-Knot Seer plan. Oh, there we go. Now Ronus, I guess Ronus can attack if they pump the Brawler. This costs 6. We can make it cost 3 next turn, so we're a ways away from Metalworks still. So if we draw a land, next turn we can go Harvester into second Thopterist. The question is whether I want to Harvester or an attack and gain life that way, or block this Brawler. This brawler is likely to become a 6/3. It'll probably trade with the harvester, but I think I do want to trade. So I'm gonna just attack with Thopterist. I'm gonna leave back the trade. It does keep us further away from Colossus, but we have a replacement harvester, and keeping this bonus in check is important. I also think that if they want to attack with, I guess, if they have a 4-power thing where this looks worse, it still holds back the brawler. Yeah, so even if they have a 4-power thing here and get to attack with bonus without the brawler, this essentially saves 3 damage and doesn't require me to pay an energy. Okay. A little surprised here at nothing into the combat. If they didn't really have anything, they should have pumped pre-combat so they could attack with bonus. Now this is going to be a 4. If they want to double pump, it could be an 8. So I'll take 3, gain 3. So I'll stay at 15. Let's see if they pay the energy, I guess. Yeah. Unsurprisingly, they did. Okay. If they have the harness lighting here, that might be rough, but nope. Okay, we got our block down, and our opponent is flooded a bit, so we look pretty good. My opponent passed without pumping, which is very strange, and I don't want to give them the opportunity to correct their mistake, so I'm just going to pass here. Don't really need the 3 life immediately. Well, our opponent is not of the highest quality. What are you going to do? We drew a land, which is great. We can play the second harvester, use this new harvester key and this Thopter to play Maverick Thopterist. Which is pretty sweet. And then we can use the Thopters from this new Thopterist to crew the harvester that can attack. And there we go. Got a 5-point attack in here, gain some life. Next turn we'll be able to play Colossus. A lot of little synergies in this deck that I like. A lot of moving pieces, like the Thopterus help crew these, the energy it provides helps with Harness Lightning, and helps Aether Hub. Also, this card's just very good against aggressive decks, where these decks tend to struggle. The Key to the City that is good with Colossus and Ravenous Intruder is also good on Improvise. Okay, there's the 4-power creature for bonus, but at this point it's a little too late. I can pretty easily take this 5, go to 13, untap, play Metalwork Colossus, and that'll hold the fort. Even if I don't draw another land, and I don't even think I'll try to. I'll probably just draw a card off of Key and play Colossus and have it Colossus set up for next turn. Sure, take 5. Have 8 mana, so Hydra that can make 5 toughness. Let's pay the 2. I guess no, unless it's. I was thinking of Disintegration, but because of their creature's Hydra, I don't think that's relevant. Pay 2, yes. Okay, well, I guess we would have drawn the land, but that doesn't matter because we do land plus a 2-mana thing, so we'll go up to 10, and the 2 Colossus will cost us 1, or I guess we could just play a 2-mana. Oh, this is a 3-mana Colossus, right? Yeah. So we can't play 3-mana Colossus plus give it haste and then make it unblockable and kill them this turn. So I guess we'll have to content ourselves with playing two 10-10s. Woe's us. And so we can attack for 9. So we only have 11 here. Unfortunately. Play a Metalwork Colossus. Yes. And if I had one more mana, I guess I could get Elder Deep Fiend here and tap. No, I can't tap down the Hydra because it can get hexproof. So we'll just get it. Let's get two 10-10s. Is this good? I can't tell. Crew 1. Crew 1. These servo schematics are also good with Improvise and with Ravenous Intruders, so that there's some crossover there. And they're cheap artifacts for Colossus. Man, this is a nifty piece of deck building. Get some lifelink, go back up to 19. And I think we're good. Maybe there's a Harness Lightning coming, but I doubt it, especially given the way our opponent tapped. Oh, I forgot to attack these Thopters. Oops. So busy trying to make sure I gained life. Not sure it matters. Yeah, opponent just flooded a bit here. Only drew 4, maybe 5 spells. And our 5-card hand actually came together really nicely. We're able to really curve out Starter Gun 2. The curve wasn't super interactive, so if our opponent's draw was fast, then we would have been in some trouble. But a slow draw from our opponent, and the fact that what we're doing is so much more powerful than what they're doing, is not a recipe for success. They certainly could have played this game a little bit better. Could have traded for one of my harvesters and gotten in maybe 7, 8 more damage, but I honestly don't think it's that relevant. I'd be in single digits here at this point, and probably with only one Colossus in play, but I'd still have pretty significant control of the battlefield. And we'll get our opponent thinking here for a bit before realizing that they are very dead. Guess if their last card is larger than life, they can make Hydra 8, 10, 14 with Ronus. That is not good enough. What if they have something that gives it Death Touch? Is there a green trick that gives Death Touch? Sure. Yeah, I'm definitely just blocking with Colossuses here, on one on each. I have well more than lethal even without them. Are they just tapping out here rather than doing the math, realizing that they're well short? Is there a double strike trick? That one costs 3 mana, right? +1/+1 and double strike. Okay, well, now I'm just going to double block. Even if they had +1/+1 double strike and death touch for 2 mana, that would be enough? Yeah, that would be enough. Sure, trade for a Colossus. Duskwatch Recruiter. I don't think that one's gonna be good enough. Um, so crew one. Crew another. Yeah, they saw the writing on the wall. Just going to key, make my Metalwork Colossus unblockable, attack for 9 in the air and 10 on the ground, so attack for 19, more than enough. Uh, Definitely a good matchup for us to draw there, even disregarding the fact that our opponent's deck was not optimally built even for the archetype. Any sort of mid-rangey creature deck is going to be pretty good unless they come out very fast. Um, and we have some decent removal in the deck now to help deal with that. And sometimes you can just combo them. So if they're trying to really kill you and they get you low on turn 4 or 5, this version of the deck has draws that just plays ATOG, and maybe the ATOG can, with some servo schematics, can hold off an attacker or two, and then you key them and fling them, and just kill them on turn 4 or 5. So you have the ability to race some of these aggressive decks or go over the top of them. And both strategies have historically been good against aggressively slanted mid-range creature decks. So there might be something here. There's definitely less artifact removal going around in sideboards with Marvel gone. It's certainly gone out of main decks like it was before. Um, there is still some because Mardu is a big deck, so you have to be wary of that in the post-board games. But overall, it's a really well-designed deck, I think. Metalwork Colossus is a hard card to make work. You have all these vehicles, and you need to get creatures in your deck, and you need to find a way to balance all of these parts while still being able to interact. And some of the crossover in this deck does let you do that and fills out the deck pretty nicely. So hope you enjoyed seeing that, and you can come back and see me on Monday.